Welcome back to this week's episode of High Fantasy, where we cover all topics in the nerd kingdom. My name is Grant.
I am AJ.
And we're actually liars. We don't cover every topic.
No,
we actually decided we were going to drop one of our topics. But we will continue to talk about The Boys. We're going to catch up in this episode. We're weeks behind, technically, but we're all caught up. So we're going to do a brief summary of 2 and 3. And really, we're here to talk about episode 4.
Fuck yeah.
So before we go any further, everything from here on out is fucking spoiled. Okay? Disclaimer. If you haven't seen any of this, don't watch any of this. But if you have, keep watching, subscribe, like, comment down in the comment section down below. Let us know what you think. And let's get into it. Last, we left off on episode 2. And let's talk about what happened a little bit in that one. We talked about Mother's Milk is back, right?
Stormfront's dead. She bit her own tongue off.
Yep. And there's still no Darth Vader arc, but
Nope, not yet.
I think it's coming.
Hopefully.
Probably next season, I'd guess. Soldier Boy has been introduced in episode 2 via flashbacks. Who knows? We get Soldier Boy action, a little bit of it. We kind of come to realize that he may not be a bad guy. He might just be a douchebag.
That's true. Like a lot of them.
But like he might even
help.
He might even be a hero. But we don't know. All we know is his run-in was with the Colonel lady, and she's kind of a bitch anyways. So, like, his reaction to her, when you go back and watch it, they had a little bit of a back and forth, kind of painted him to look like an asshole, but really, they were both being an asshole to each other. So I just think they don't get along. That happens. I'm hoping that Jensen Ackles is playing a good guy.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Episode
3?
Well, yeah, a little bit more, though. Starlight does stand up for herself a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's always doing that.
Cool. And then Homelander's starting to lose his shit, like, slowly but surely. And that kind of drizzles into episode 3, where we get a lot of flashbacks in this one. This is actually where the payback flashback happens. I lied about episode 2. And we see Black Nora's face. And he's black.
He is black.
So here's why that's a surprise, which is not a bad one, really. You have to change stuff up from the comics because otherwise we're just going to know what's going on and why make a show. In the comics, Black Noir is Homelander's clone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At least I'm pretty sure, yeah. And he's like supposed to be the weapon made to be able to keep Homelander in check as Black Noir. In this show, they took a little bit different of a route, which is cool because I think we're getting a cooler Homelander's weapon story arc coming from Soldier Boy himself. And
episode 3 is also when we see Billy get that Vought juice for the first time, right?
Billy does get the Vought juice for the first time in episode 3. And wow, does he go on a rampage. He kills...
His name Gunpowder or some shit?
Gunpowder.
I think that's his name.
It's Soldier Boy's little sidekick guy, is Gunpowder. Yeah. So they kill the shit out of him with laser beams, and then he like kind of has a struggle controlling all of these powers. Basically, he took a 24-hour soup juice and...
Bless you.
My bad. And, so for 24 hours, he gets laser vision. He's indestructible, super strength. And what else does he get? Is it just to be announced?
That's what we've seen so far is,
Yeah, we
basically, Homelander's powers is what it seems like. We haven't seen Flight yet.
Have not seen Flight yet. So
we don't know if he's got the super hearing either.
True, we don't.
I think those are the only two that we're uncertain of.
But yeah, I mean, he looks like at least, if not an equal, a lesser than equal to Homelander when he takes this 24-hour soup serum. This is pretty cool. What else happened in that? Supersonic got fucking murked by Homelander, and that
was episode 4.
That was episode 4.
Yep. Episode 3, he gets into the 7. I believe.
That's right.
He gets voted in. Yes.
Oops.
A little bit behind, but that's okay. We can just jump to episode 4 because this is what I really want to talk about today. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's be
We're
honest.
finally caught up. Fast forward. Holy fuck! Episode 4 was intense.
Brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal. So in this episode, we kind of see everybody becomes a villain in some sort of way. We see, okay, so where should we even start? Which storyline do we start with here? Like, let's start with Homelander, for example, right? They're leading up to Homelander doing this this show with Starlight, where like, what is the plan? He's gonna like basically force her to be his girlfriend on stage.
Pretty much. Yeah. Publicity
this
stunt.
whole
Get their
publicity
points up.
stunt. Yeah, and Homelander also pulls a fast one on the CEO of Vought himself.
Oh, yeah.
Who's had him in check this whole time in all of these seasons up until this point. But Homelander basically takes one of his contingency plans, which is to have Nadia go public about him and basically fine him. Nothing big. And he goes to Nadia behind his back and
flips around.
Yeah, has her publicly go after the CEO of Vought, in which Homelander goes to Nadia afterwards, congratulates her, gives her the super juice to give to her daughter. Not a 24-hour super juice, but a permanent one. And then, let's see, what else there? Nadia doesn't blow anybody up this episode, which is good. But, yeah, he basically states that he is now the fucking absolute powerhouse.
Yeah,
and
it's getting scary because Homelander's not afraid of anybody anymore.
He answers to no one.
Yep.
So, but on the boys' side of things,
oh boy,
let's go up. So they basically found out that this weapon that they need to fight Homelander is
in Russia.
It's being kept by the Russians. So they go in, they infiltrate this Russian facility. It's got a bunch of Russians in it. They kill those. There's a hamster that's been corrupted with the Vought super juice that's bouncing the fuck around. He breaks free.
Super hamster.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was fun. So
that was good. That was a good time.
He killed the shit out of that Russian dude.
Yeah,
he just like went in, created holes, just ate him.
Yep.
It was a good time to see a hamster get superpowers. And you can always count on the writers of this show to just go all out on that. But another big thing that happens is after they kill all these Russians, and thank God that they did, right? Because they're our enemy again here in America. We might cut that out. Who knows? After they kill all the Russians, the red people, they open up this.
Oh, don't forget that we also found out that Huey stole some of that super juice.
Oh, yeah. My bad. While they're killing the Russians, we see Huey use the soup serum. He gets teleportation powers.
Yes, what it looked like.
And
he just teleported right out of his clothes and put his fist through a guy.
And his cast.
Yeah, and his cast.
Because he got a broken arm earlier. We didn't cover that. But he got a broken arm. Looks like the soup juice healed his arm. And he teleported. He doesn't teleport with clothes, so that's fun.
And you can tell that he fucking likes it.
Oh, yeah, he loves it.
He's already addicted to that shit.
Yeah, so, one vial in, he's like, I need more soup juice. And so they kill all the Russians. Then they open up this, what looks like a cryo chamber. Turns out to be a cryo chamber.
Yeah.
With Soldier Boy inside. And Soldier Boy just like, it's been years. This motherfucker's been just frozen, Disney style. And so he like slowly walks out. He's bearded. It's Jensen Ackles. Looks like he's been doing some super juice himself, if you know what I mean. And the boys, instead of like, kind of like being, normally set up in a room, they're just circled around him. Which, I mean, if you think about it, if you just got out of a cryo chamber 40 to 50 years later and you're surrounded by a bunch of random dudes, you're probably going to go a little berserk, right? So it looks like he's keeping it together. He looks confused. And then he just kind of points himself at a wall. You see his chest glow and he fucking blasts.
And Kimiko just happens to be standing there as well.
Yes, Kimiko, the mute, super strength, healing power, awesome character that the boys have, gets blasted through like 3-4 walls. And
she's not regenerating.
She seems to lose her powers. And in the meanwhile, the boys are like distracted by that. Soldier Boy just kind of walks out. He didn't say a fucking thing to the boys. He probably didn't even think they like spoke English because he's in Russia. Or I don't even know if he knows he's in Russia. We'll find out next episode. But on the way, the boys driving out of there, they have Kimiko in the back of the van, and they notice she's not healing. And that's sad. And I hope that Kimiko doesn't die because she's probably the best character that the boys have.
100%.
Like, morally. So that'd be kind of sad to see her go. But that's kind of where that episode leaves off. Is it looks like the boys have somewhat failed their mission. But they also found out something very valuable about Soldier Boy that we didn't know. Is when he does the blast from his chest, that blast nullifies whoever, like, superhero it hits. It nullifies their powers. So that's very useful, specifically against the fucking most powerful superhero, Homelander.
See, I'm looking forward to episode 5 because that's going to be nuts. This season so far is, like, honestly already becoming my favorite season of The Boys. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, and then the way they ended this episode just made my stomach turn. It was with Homelander. It's a little more fresh in your mind, so I'm going to have you kind of close it up.
Is it with Homelander and killing the... What's his butt?
Who'd he kill?
I can't remember his name, god damn it.
Supersonic.
Was that how it ended?
Was that how it ended?
I don't remember how it ended.
Anyways, so yeah, let's talk about the future game show. We'll be covering that. Actually, yeah. That video will be coming out soon, so we're going to do a coverage of the game show. Bethesda particularly is going to be releasing a bunch of their games as well as Xbox. So we'll be covering that in a bit. We'll release that as a super separate video.
So, Black Adam?
Black Adam?
Yeah, Black Adam trailer just dropped. It's, for those of you who don't know, if you know Shazam, if you've seen Shazam, Captain Marvel, basically the ancient Egyptian version of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
He got the same powers from Shazam, the same wizard, all that, except he's going to be either an anti-hero or a villain. Now, we're getting a lot of cool characters from this movie, too. We're getting Red Tornado.
Yeah.
We're getting Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
We're getting Hawkman. We're getting Atom Smasher or whatever.
Oh.
That's from Cyberpunk.
Bunch of Leaguers. Bunch of Justice
Leaguers. Bunch of Justice Leaguers.
They weren't in
Justice Leaguers.
Yeah, they weren't in the movie.
Yep.
One thing I did wonder about this trailer, I mean, all that being said, this movie looks super awesome.
Yeah.
Actually.
It really does.
But one thing about the trailer is I noticed Shazam wasn't in the trailer. And it makes me wonder if like they're even going to put Shazam in the movie because if you're familiar with like DC Comics at all, Shazam and Black Adam are like the
arch nemesis.
Yeah,
yep.
That's the big arch nemesis.
Yep.
Thanks, AJ.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll make an appearance. I mean, I feel like they'd be doing the fans dirty if they didn't. If anything, we at least get an after credit scene,
which I would be happy with as like a subtle.
I'm just imagining Billy Batson not transformed, just meeting Black Adam.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great movie. Well, DC's making a comeback, I hope, I think.
Well, this also makes me want to go back and actually watch Shazam.
Yeah, it was great. I've seen it a couple times. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. It's a lot of fun.
I've meant to watch it. I
think that this movie is going to contrast Shazam in a very cool way. Because Shazam was just a fun, family, like, action superhero movie.
Yeah.
And this, even though it's the same sort of concept, the same superhero, essential, not same superhero, same powers, same wizard that gave it to him and everything, it's a totally different type of movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be cool.
I'm pretty
looking forward
excited.
to that one.
I'm pretty excited. It looks, at least the trailer-wise, and I think, hey, can I get a beer, Goblin? I hear him, but I don't see him.
He's coming.
Where is he? I can hear him getting closer.
Oh, shit.
There's a beer goblin. Thank you,
there
beer goblin.
Yep.
Was this a Pacifico? Thanks.
Now, before we get into the video game stuff, there's one other sort of movie topic I want to talk about, and this is the announcement or the confirmation that a second Joker movie is going to be made.
Oh.
And that has people very concerned.
Mixed? Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
very mixed feelings.
And I think here's why. The Joker was, when you watch the movie like front to back, I could see there being a sequel, but it was honestly a good standalone art piece.
Mm-hmm. It really was.
Also, here's why I'm concerned. The new Batman that came out was so fucking good that it makes me not even really care about Joaquin Phoenix's Joker because he's not even in the same universe.
Yeah, that's...
So, or maybe he is. Maybe the whole twist is that Barry Keoghan's Joker was like you know how in the comics like the Red Hood character was inspired by the Joker being the original Red Hood. Maybe this is one of those instances where like, and I know it's a stretch, but maybe it's one of those instances.
Could be. I personally don't want to see Robert Pattinson with
Joaquin
Phoenix's Joker because it just the dynamic wouldn't make sense anymore.
Well, and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker isn't like a martial artist of any sorts. So, and I'm not saying like the Joker from the comics is, but he does beat the fuck out of people, and he's a very brutal like he's physically imposing whilst still being like a slender, skinny fella. Like
also the dynamic works because they are a very similar age to each other. Mm-hmm. And if this were to happen, it wouldn't play out like that because Joaquin Phoenix is probably a good 20 years on him.
So it makes you wonder if they do another Joker film, is there going to be a Batman in it? I think there should be because I feel like it would be... I don't know. I feel like one whole movie about just the Joker himself should be enough to establish the Joker as a character. And like what kind of arc does a villain have without a hero to oppose him? And it's the same to be said about superheroes, and that's why every superhero film has a villain. So is this just another like movie that's going to be like a mental health statement like the first movie? I'm not saying anything there. It was a good one. But just like, or is it like actually going to be a DC Comics film?
Yeah, they could either do really great but they could also really kind of just ruin the integrity of the first movie. So we'll see what happens.
We will. I will say I'm excited to see it regardless of whatever I fear the outcome is. So, yeah, there's that.
All right, video game news. First thing I want to touch on, just because it's real quick, is the Grammys announced recently some new awards that they'll be doing, and video game scores is one of them.
Oh.
Which is
I didn't know
incredible.
That. Yeah?
Yeah. Mainly because video games, especially recently, have had some incredible fucking music. I mean, and to be awarded and being able to like actually put that in like the limelight for a second, being those composers, like that's really cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. So another thing that reminds me of is actually I was already on the list. I hope we'll circle back to this one, but Elder Scrolls Online. I played this game when it came out. Like years ago. I was probably still in high school when this came out. Oh, my bad. And I was not impressed. I thought it just felt like a cartoony version of Skyrim, more or less. And it is as an MMO, but it's also like been like over the years they've added so much content and so much to it. And now there's like a season pass kind of thing called Elder Scrolls Online Plus, which is cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan, but what reminded me of that is you were talking about soundtracks.
Yep.
And in this game, there is this Elsewhere, I guess is how it's pronounced, but it's with a Y. DLC where you go to Elsewhere. It's where the Khajiit are from, and they're dealing with dragons and shit. But the music in like this land is so fucking captivating. It's so good. I like tuned in, and I'm not saying the music everywhere in this game is good, but in particularly elsewhere, it's good enough to just go by the game just for that. Fuck it.
And now it has an opportunity to win a fucking award. At least be nominated.
Yes. And I have been playing Elder Scrolls Online now about 2 weeks, and I've just been playing the fuck out of it because I have an RPG itch right now that needs to be scratched. And there just isn't an RPG out that I haven't played that scratches my itch at this very moment in time. I've played The Witcher 3 too many times, so that's it.
Well, there might be an RPG coming out soon that you might like.
Yeah?
Pal World.
Oh, Pal World? What's Pal World?
Pal World is... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to read the brief description. Here we go.
Okay.
Pal World is a brand new, multiplayer, open-world survival crafting game where you can befriend and collect mysterious creatures called Pal in a vast world. Make your pals fight, build, farm, and work in factories.
Okay.
Anyway, this is a Pokemon parody that somehow looks like it's going to be better than any Pokemon game that's been coming out recently, which, as a Pokemon fan, hurts me, but I think is also fucking hilarious. This game is taking the idea of Pokemon. You still throw balls, you still capture the creatures and everything. The difference is you're enslaving them, and they make it known that you were enslaving these creatures. In the trailer alone, you see like a bunch of these pals working in factories on an assembly line, building guns. You see people experimenting on them. You see some crazy shit, and it's pretty outrageous, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Sadly, it's a Windows-only game.
I will say it does look fun.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer, so yeah, I already knew about it. I just acted surprised. That's my bit. But we have one last thing to talk about before we wrap it up. It's this Sonic. Since we came out with our last video, the developers came out with an update.
Yeah, we got to see some actual gameplay of the Sonic game, and they came out and announced this is definitely not a finished product. So everybody concerned how, like we were last week, we were talking about it.
Yeah.
It is not finalized, so there is still plenty of hope left. They could still make the world a lot less empty, and I really do think they can do a good job on this game.
I do too.
The gameplay looked boring to me personally, but
what they showed us. They showed us about like too much time, I think, of like a little bit of like movement throughout the game.
We got nothing about story or anything like that,
which is
from what I saw.
Fine. I think overall I think the game will be good. I think just the marketing approach they're taking with it is they're trying something new. Let's just put it like that. They showed us 7.5 minutes of gameplay from what they are saying is like a really not finished game. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe not 7 minutes then. Maybe like a minute and a half, 30 seconds. Give me like a little taste, a little teaser, not like don't overload me, you know. But anyways, other than that, it does look like it's going to be a really good game. I'm hoping it's as in early stages as they say it is. And I think that just about wraps it up. Let us know what you think about any of these topics, specifically The Boys, since we're going to be covering that. Let us know in the comments down below. Do you play Elder Scrolls Online? If not, would you like to? And would you like to see us cover it? And let us know what else you want us to cover. But, yeah, go ahead and leave a like, share, subscribe.
All the goodness.
And we will see you next week on High Fantasy.
Peace.
Live in a constant state of fear.